All right, so continuing on with Tim Henderson, Pastor Tim Henderson, and his apparent. There's nobody that I know online that does what he does the way he does it. Twice a day he gets on YouTube, sometimes more than that, and states over and over again, emphatically, rapture any second. Jesus is coming very, very, very soon. Like every day, twice a day. And, look, if he's not going to stop and he's going to continue this pattern of misleading people and setting dates, then I'm going to keep holding him accountable. And I don't care how many of us fanboys come out and yell at me. Yell all you want. I won't block you. Get on my channel, yell at me. Go ahead. Quite frankly, you're helping me when you do that. Do you guys realize that, I'm too honest of a person, I guess. You guys help me whenever you get on my channel and comment, even if you're negative. If you give me a thumbs down, it doesn't stop YouTube from showing the video. It actually helps show the video. So do it. I want more people to hear the other side of this absolute misleading, misrepresenting the Bible. So let's see what he has to say today. And I'm doing this again just to point out it's been another month. Tim, you cannot say rapture any second, every day, twice a day, for months and have it make any sense or have any impact whatsoever in the positive, because it's a lie. It's not rapture any second, Tim. When I say something like, hey, I'll be over any second now, what does that mean to you, Tim? Does that mean I'm going to be over your house any second and then you literally expect me to show up within a few minutes? Yes, you would. And if I didn't show up, what would you call me, Tim? You would call me a liar. And that is the same impact that setting dates has. You come across as a liar because you're telling a lie. The rapture is not any second. Jesus is not coming very, very, very soon. You said that back in October. He didn't come. You were lying. How is lying to people get them into the kingdom? How does lying to people build God's kingdom, for God's sake? Sir, please stop it. Please.
Hi, brothers and sisters. It's Pastor Tim Henderson, and I don't have time today to even
Tim, if you would spend all the time you spend online, you could and take all that time and add it all together, it'd probably give you an entire day a week to go do ministry that's really helping people. Because God knows you're doing a lot of ministry to help people. I'm not trying to tell you your business, but you shouldn't be doing this. I am telling you to stop doing this. I am getting into your business because it's my business. I'm in the church and you're making us look like a bunch of idiots. Stop making us look like idiots, please, for the sake of everybody else and your brothers. And then use your gifts that you have.
So we're going live with this world news update. We are in the final moments of the end of days.
Tim, you can't be in the final moments of something forever and ever. Months and months and months. It just doesn't work. That's not truth, Tim. You are a pastor. You have a pulpit. You have authority just in that. And you are using that authority to tell lies. You are lying to people. We are not in the final moments. You just proved it. You're still sitting in your car. March 13th, 2019, you're sitting in your car. Are you in heaven right now, Tim? You said that back in October.
There is so much going on. There's a quickening in my spirit today with what's going on around the world.
All right, just stop that nonsense. There's no quickening in your spirit. Stop this mumbo jumbo garbage, Tim. Use the word of God, Tim. Use truth in your words. Quickening in my spirit. What does that even mean? It means nothing. That's just garbage, mumbo jumbo, garbage crap. God does not quicken Tim's spirit and then uniquely tell him when he's coming back. That's a lie. That is not what's going on in your spirit, Tim. It's a fantasy in your delusional mind. And if you want to have that fantasy in your delusional mind, feel free. But don't come on YouTube and tell the world that.
Part of it is the time that I've spent in prayer, and I will be on later with updates tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be doing a live Bible study. Should the Lord tarry. And when I say that, I mean he could come at any moment. I'm never setting a date, but we are in that season. Boy, can we.
Telling us we're in the season is setting a date. A season is a date. It's not the month, it's not the day, it's not the hour. It's still a date. When I say we're in the season of graduation time, that's a date. We all know what that is. And when that season is over, we know it's now over. But you people like to use this word season as if that somehow magically frees you from having to say that I'm setting a date. Now you're just off the hook and you can say whatever you want because there's no season purely defined anywhere. So I'll just throw that word around. You guys realize that the only two times in the New Testament that the concept of seasons is talked about, two times in the New Testament. First Thessalonians chapter 4 and Acts chapter 1. In both cases, we're told you're not to know. Both cases that the word season, the concept of season is talked about, we are told by Jesus first, it's not for you to know the times or the seasons, which the Father has put in his own power. And then Paul says, I have no reason to write unto you about that, because you know he's coming as a thief. Therefore, there is no season to be watching for. That's the whole point of that passage.
See it, just dealing with the evil that pervades and the people that need help because of that, dealing with the issue of human trafficking, the more I uncover. I'll be sharing some of that probably later today.
That's awful.
There's so much more than most of us realize. And wow. But anyway, I want to give you a world news update.
Yeah, what is with this world news update stuff? As if now suddenly Tim needs to be seen as a world news provider. I don't even understand that. Are you just running out of things to talk about? Stop with the world news update and trying to superimpose the Bible on it and get back to work doing what you're supposed to do and what the church is supposed to do.
So in Al Jazeera, Israeli authorities are reported to be reopening the Al-Aqsa Mosque. You know that there have been tensions with the closing, that the Muslims can't go and pray at what they consider a holy site. Although Mecca is really their major site, it's all about wanting Israel. Also in Al Jazeera, Iran warns of firm response if Israel acts against its oil shipments. And there are lots of links to some of these things. The tensions are just increasing all over the world. In Haaretz, Hezbollah is entrenching itself in the Syrian Golan established terror infrastructure, Israel Army says. And as you know, Senator Lindsey Graham from the United States, from South Carolina, was in the Golan Heights yesterday with Prime Minister Netanyahu and the U.S. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. And he is calling for Trump, like he on December 6, 2017, announced that Jerusalem was the rightful eternal capital of Israel. And then on May 14, 2018, at the beginning of that 70th year, praise God of Israel.
All right. I've had enough of you people lying and telling people that we're in the 70th year. We are in the 71st year of Israel's history. We're in year 71. We are not in year 70. Year 70 was last year. When somebody turns 70, they are now 70 full years old. That's what that means. When a baby is born, they're in their first year of life. They get to their first birthday, they are 1 full year old. They then start their second year. They go another full year, they are now 2 years old. They start their third year. Now, jump ahead with me in the math, Tim. When Israel turned 70 years old last year, they were 70 full years old. They started their 71st year. Tim, did you go to elementary school? Go ask any elementary school teacher, they will back me up on this. We are in their 71st year, not their 70th. You guys, nothing happened on May 14th last year. You're mad about that. You're disappointed about that, but you're not going to let it go. You got to keep it going because what else are we going to talk about? Is that right? Can you just admit that you were wrong about Israel in 70? Can't you just admit that and move on? Because you're wrong about everything. It doesn't even, It doesn't even matter. You're going to be wrong on May 15th, 2019. We are still going to be here. Get Tim, 100% guaranteed. We're still going to be here on May 15th. Are you going to still be telling us the rapture is any second? Are you going to now then say, well, we're now in Israel's 71st year? No, you know what? I guarantee you, you will stop talking about 70. That'll be the end of that. You won't even talk about Israel's birthday anymore because it doesn't work. There's no magical number 70 anymore to go with it. It's just, I can see, like, people have just got to start seeing what's really going on here. You guys use hype and speculation to drive traffic to your video channel. That's it. Not for money gain, not for fame. Maybe it's for good reasons. You're trying to minister to people. Tim, rely on the Lord to bring you who you need to minister to, okay? Stop using hype and inflated news articles and telling people things that don't ever happen.
Israel being a nation, coming back and forming and being a nation. He moved the embassy, and now it just keeps going in that direction. Praise God, praise God. Things are really heating up.
Okay, Tim, I could pick any moment in history, and drop you into that moment, and you could look around you and say, wow, things are really heating up. That doesn't mean a thing, Tim. Hey, on May 15th, 1948, were things really heating up? I bet you think they were. I bet you think in 1939, if you were alive then, things were really heating up. Did Jesus come back, Tim, in 1939? Did a rapture happen? When Israel was in their war in 1969, or 67, I'm sorry, another famous date you guys like to hold on to, were things really heating up then, Tim, in 1967? Were they? I mean, even had blood moons. You had everything. Were things really heating up, Tim? Of course they were. Did Jesus come back, Tim? Did Jesus rapture you guys? Really heating up doesn't mean anything. You guys don't know what it means.
In Sputnik news, Tehran vows to respond to Israeli Navy's action against Iranian oil sales. So Iran is in there along with Hezbollah.
Again, you guys could be talking about this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. This is just old news, the same stuff. There is nothing new. See, one of the things these guys have to get people convinced of is that we live in unprecedented times. We live in unprecedented times. Nothing like this has ever happened before. They have to tell you things like that to make you feel like, oh my gosh, we're special. I mean, yeah, we've always had war and earthquakes. We've always had this and that. Middle East has always been trouble. But goodness sake, this is different than anything else has ever happened. You know, we've never had the internet while a blood moon was happening, while Tesla was making self-driving cars and people were getting microchips, and President Trump has never been president before. I mean, every single day in the history of the world is unprecedented in some way. It's all just to help people feel better about what's going on in their life and what's going on around them in the world, help them get through another day. You guys, you're supposed to go out there and do stuff about it, not sit around and wish to be whisked away to heaven. You're supposed to be overcoming evil with good, Romans 12. Not praying away evil, even. I mean, although you can pray, but that verse says overcome it. It doesn't say get on YouTube and cry to each other about how bad everybody else is in the world and just cry about it and make videos about it and nowtheendbegins.com crying about the left all day long as if that does any good. Do something about it. Tim does something about that evil almost every single day of his life. Why can't he just keep doing that and stop this? What is the point of this? Tim, you're doing a lot more good overcoming evil with good when you work with victims of the sex trafficking industry. That's a lot more good than what you're doing here. This is doing nothing.
In VOA, U.S. official reports that Iranian regime wants Iraq to become a province of Iran. Not surprised there. Things are just aligning, brothers and sisters,
no, for
this
not.
end time.
Tim, you do not know what you are talking about. None of those things you just said are in the Bible. None of them. Stop talking about aligning. How long are you guys going to say things are aligning? I hear it 1,000 times a day. People, well, they're aligning, they're aligning, they're every single day. When does it become now? Okay, now it's fully aligned. Now it's done. It's just fantasy and nonsense. It means nothing. It's aligning. It's aligning. I could say that too. Hey, guess what, Tim? It's misaligning. Everything's getting out of whack. There. Prove me wrong. Prove me that it's not getting misaligned right now. What is it? It means nothing. Tim, we are messengers of truth. What you're saying isn't truth. It's speculation and hype.
The battles that are coming. With everything we're seeing, is some of you don't believe in dispensation, but you can't argue with the facts of world news. This is real. I'm not making this up. This isn't conspiracy theory. This isn't brothers and sisters who are pre-tribbers. That's what I call us, pre-tribulation adherents to the rapture. We're not making this up. This stuff is real. This is really going on.
You are not making it up, Tim, but you're making up that it has anything to do with the Bible. That's the point. The point is, everything you're saying is you're making up what this has to do with anything. And yes, the pre-trib rapture is made up. Tim, did the pre-trib rapture happen today? Nope. Did it happen yesterday? Nope. Did it happen the day before? Nope. Did it happen last year? Nope. Tim, every single day I get up, I prove there's no pre-trib rapture. I prove it because it didn't happen. You have yet to get up in the morning and prove there's a pre-trib rapture. You have yet to get up in the morning and prove, Tim, actually prove it with real, honest to goodness things that are happening. You have yet to get up in the morning and prove one single thing that you hypesters have talked about. Because every single day we get up and we're still here. So what does that prove? See, Tim, anybody can say anything they like about the future. You can't prove it wrong. I can't prove it wrong until it happens. And you know what? Today we got up and my preterist view happened again for the 1 millionth time. Every single day I get proven right. Tim, I would love to talk with you. You said you were going to call me. You said you were going to talk to me about this. You said we could have a nice discussion. You texted me a few times. You've disappeared on me again. Sorry, man. I mean, you guys can all cry and whine about my videos. I don't care. This man needs to stop his hype. This is getting ridiculous now. It's the other week he said something like he was sitting there on the video and all of a sudden he's like, oh my goodness, I just felt something. I just felt the Lord do something in my mind. What? That's absolute nonsense and malarkey and ridiculous and unbiblical. God does not tell you secrets in your head, Tim, about what's going to happen in the future. He doesn't do that. He doesn't tell anybody that. Sorry for being a little angry, but, this guy could be doing so much. He's got so much potential because of all the work he does and his heart for people. And then he blows it with this kind of stuff. It's just unbelievable to me. Take this for what it's worth. I am not going to stop making these videos as long as this guy keeps going. I'm just not. I'm not going to stop making videos against JD or against Jan or against any of these other people and their devious ways to get people to watch them. Stop using my Lord's name in vain. Stop using my Lord and my Lord's word, the word of God, to further your causes that have nothing to do with him.